Okay, fine. So hope everyone is able to see me and everyone is able to hear my voice. If there is any problem, please let me know. From my side, the network is 100% good. So if you are facing any issues, try to rejoin. Okay. So just message me whether you are able to see my screen or not, and also you are able to clearly hear my voice or not. Anyone can message me whether you are able to hear my voice or not.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. So first of all, this course, okay, the course name is Master on Data Structure and Algorithm along with the system designing. So by the name, it is not mean like we are going to cover only the coding, algorithm, DSA and system designing. We'll be doing lot more in that course. There is a several module of the course, okay? And I am your instructor. My name is Devupal, okay? So let me give little bit introductions about myself. I have a more than 11 years of experience. So majorly I worked in fintech company, including PayPal, Wells Fargo, NPCI, and currently I'm working in FICO, that is Fair Isaac Corporations, and it is also a fintech company. Basically we make the product for the banking system, let's say fraud management system, etc. So along with that, I have a passion of teaching. So you might be know about, I'll be having a YouTube channel, and normally I create a post or tutorial other from, okay. So along with that, I am a corporate trainer, but recently I just came out from the corporate trainer and I have started this plan to give the individual sessions on the data structure algorithm. And in that corporate trainer, almost 4 years I'll be having experience. So I'm giving an example. So my success rate is 100%. So let's say the company name is Optimum. They have a client called PayPal. So normally when they want to get a job in PayPal, so they will take a 2 rounds of interview. So that time uh, Optimum comes to us with the candidate, and I provide 1 month or 2 months training, uh, coding and system designing, and they appear for the interview. That is a client called PayPal, and then they crack the interview and they placed in the client locations. So my 100% so far now, I mean, let's say I have trained more than 100 plus candidate in the corporate organizations, and all those candidates got a job in the client locations, whether it's a PayPal, whether it's a BNP Paribas, whether it's a Standard Chartered Bank, whether it's a Morgan Stanley. Okay. So having said that, so that is my overall experience. And now coming to little bit background of my tech stack, I am a fully backend developer, and mostly I worked in Java, Spring Boot microservices, along with the big data and cloud technologies. Okay. And currently I'm leading the team as an individual contributor as well as the product owner. And now why this course? Okay. I know lots of people are struggling for new job, right? So that is a one context, and few candidates are there who are working in service-based company, and I service-based company salary is low compared to product-based company. Okay, so might be they are working for long years, let's say 5 years, 10 years, and their salary is not up to the mark, and they want a switch in the product based company or might be a good service based company. Yes, I am saying good service based company because there is a lots of service based company who pay more than the product based company. Okay, so I'll explain it later. So basically they stuck in certain areas, they want to get a hike Okay, they want to get a good job. Okay, they want career accomplishment. At the same times, freshers who are struggling to get their first job. We know there is a on-campusing recruitment, but if out of 100%, almost 50 to 60 or might be 80% get a job in on campus. Even that is happened for the IIT and NIT college. But what about rest of the student? So they should get a job, right? So that's what my course and curriculum has been designed such a way so that fresher experienced candidate can get the job from the open market. Okay, and they can get a call for, I mean, more than the regular candidate. So let's say your friend is getting a call, four call out of four, let's say two is product based company, two is service based company. But after completing this course, after your profile enhancement, you'll be getting the call more than 100%. Okay, so that is means not only four, five companies, you will get a 10, 15, even more than interview call. Okay, so that is why the course is structured. Okay, and few people having a dream company. Okay, so fund based company, Google, Meta, Amazon, etc., right? And also good product based company. So not only fund, I'm giving a one example. Let's say salesforce.com, let's say Joho. They are a very good company, culture oriented company. Their package is very good, and there are other facilities, right? Why people looks for good product based company? Not only the salary, also the lifestyle, also the personal and working life balance, and then lots of others benefit, whether it's a insurance, whether in terms of any food, cab service. So there is a lots of benefit, right? So yeah, so that course has been designed real industry level coding. Okay, algorithms, data structures, system designing, and few others module will go through one by one. Okay. Now, second point. Already I covered this point. Who should join this course? Point number one, freshers who want to get their first job in good product based company, or might be a good service based company with a good package. Okay, good package. I'll give you the example. And also the developer who start their role in the organization, who want to get a big role, let's say architect role, or might be technical lead role, or senior software engineer role. Okay, so that course has been designed for those professional, and at the same times the working professional as well. Okay, now why product based companies interviews are tough? So I'm saying it's a tough for the time being, but it's not a tough. Okay. If you prepare continuously 6 months with a consistency, definitely it will not be a tough. Initial 2 to 3 months, it would be tough for you, right? Might be you are rejecting. Okay. Again and again and again. No issue. You can give 100 interview. You can reject from the 100 companies, no issue with that, but your consistency is matter, right? Okay, yeah, so the competitive environment, let's say today, okay, PayPal or might be XYZ company, Google open a new applications. There is an opening for the Bangalore position. Let's say they needs 100 developer, and now what will happen immediately from our country? I mean, thousands of applications will come to them. Okay, and these thousands of applications, it's not manually reviewed. What they do it, so there is a system based on the keyword. Okay, they will evaluate the resume and they will shortlist it. Okay, so first point is you have to you have to shortlist your resume, right? So that is the important thing. That's what, that before getting the call, it's a very tough, okay, to shortlist your resume. Okay, that is the most important part. And second part, after shortlisting your profile, it is important you have to give minimum one, okay, maximum there is a no limit, minimum 1 or 2 rounds of coding interview, fully coding, and it's any programming language agnostic. So means like you can write the program in any programming language, but you have to give the proper solutions. And second, problem solving ability. Okay, so it's a kind of a combinations of coding and DSA. And the most important part, that is a second or third round, that is a system designing. Okay, and people are lagging in the system designing. Okay, and last part is the behavioral and the cultural fit. Okay, so when you will be complete all your technical rounds, there should be a hiring manager or might be a product owner, uh, person will take your interview. So that time they will try to see your behavior, and at the same time whether you are cultural fit or not for these organizations. So they will check this kind of ability, right? So that's what the product based company interviews are little bit tough than the traditional interview what's going on in the service based company. Okay, now next part, course durations. Total course durations, it would be for the 5 months, but it can be extended to 6 months. Means minimum 5 months will be having the course, but it will be going to 6 months. And total live sessions would be approx 32, 37 to 42 sessions. It can be increased, but it will not be decreased. And mostly that curriculum has been designed such a way so that professional and student both type of candidate can join the sessions. So sessions will be happening weekends, Saturday and Sunday, either 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. and it will be around 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hour sessions. Okay, and one more session should be there, so that should be weekdays. So those people's having a less experience and fearing to write the coding. Okay, sir. Whenever I try to write the coding, so I have a fear. Okay, or might be I'll not able to understand what algorithm we should apply in order to solve this problem, right? So to get the confidence, I have designed another sessions, that is the extra sessions that will happen weekdays, and it would be around 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. So might be that sessions will be 1 hour or one hour 30 minutes, and these sessions will be objective will be to get a confidence on codings hands-on and along with the doubt clearing sessions. Okay, so approximately 3 sessions in a week. One sessions is optional. Those people having a good confidence and their basic is clear on writing the program. Okay, somebody messaged me, let's see. Okay, thank you. Yeah, now, extra support I mentions like a special doubt clearing sessions, or might be in that sessions I'll take a mock interview and I'll provide a live feedback so that you can work upon on that gray area, right? And already I mentioned extra coding classes for the candidate with a less confidence. Okay. Our main objective is after completing that course. So don't think like a certificate. Okay. Think like a you should landed with a good job and you should get a minimum 100% high. To be honest, I'm saying. So I'll be coming this one after a couple of slides. So you will be able to understand what you are right now. Okay. Yeah. So this is the slide. Okay. If your number of years experience multiply by less than 3, then you are not getting a good salary. So you are category, I mean, you are falling under the category called poor salary. And if that is a greater than 3, so you are getting an average salary. I mean, below average, sorry. And if you are getting a 4, I mean, let's say I'm giving an example. So let's say you have a 10 years experience and you are getting a 40 lakhs. So that is means you are getting an average market standard salary. Okay. But if you are getting a 50 lakhs, I mean, multiply by 5, then you will be having a above average salary. But if you are getting a more than 6, there is a no limit. That is a excellent. So you are getting a very, very good salary from the market. So that is a table for the experienced candidate. And for the fresher, if you are getting a salary, let's say greater than 8 lakhs, okay, in your first job, let's say you are not able to crack any farm-based company, but you are able to crack any product-based company, good product-based company, let's say, I'm giving example, Walmart, okay, or might be you are getting a job in Paytm, phone pay. So lots of companies is there. So if you are getting at 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, so you are categorized under excellent package. But if you are getting a 6 lakhs, so that is a I mean average. If you are getting a 8 lakhs, so that is a above average. If you are getting a 5 lakhs, so that is a below average. And if you are getting a less than 4, then it would be a poor category. Okay, so just take a pause for 30 seconds and just think yourself right now what you are standing in this category. Okay, and one thing, it doesn't matter where you are working, whether you are working in Calcutta, whether you are working in Bangalore, whether you are working in Hyderabad or might be Noida, Gurgaon, any of the place, doesn't matter. If your salary bucket is less than that structure, then definitely you will not fall in the competitive market, and that is not up to the market. Okay, so you have to think twice whether you are getting the right salary based on your experience. That is the, I mean, you should ask yourself, you are happy with your salary? If not, then this course is for you. Okay, so already I have given this example. Okay, so you have seen that part. Now, course roadmap. First of all, as I mentioned, we'll be having a extra class, right? So that will not count this part. Okay, so this is extra. But our main roadmap is that is a coding and data structure mastery. So we'll be covering basic data structure to advanced data structure. Okay, we'll be starting from flowchart. First of all, I'll show you how to draw a flowchart. Okay, then we'll be work on the complexity analysis. We'll be work on the time complexity. We'll be work on the space complexity. After these sessions, you'll be get to know how to calculate the time complexity and space complexity for the program or might be for the solutions. This is my 100% guarantee. And we'll be starting coding with the array, string, recursion, and we'll be understanding the dynamic problem as well. So dynamic problem, then tree, graphs, then advanced data structure, knapsack problem, right? So we'll be hands-on. We'll be know the theoretical part. So let's say the tree, then graph. So if I'm talking about the tree, so binary tree, a complete binary tree, then binary search tree. So each and everything will be covered. Then graph will be covered, that how to create the graph, everything will be covered. Okay, then our most important part of this module is coding design pattern. So might be you heard about lead code, then educative.io, they provide a tutorial, they charge yearly $200 something, right? So there is a lots of coding pattern technique. Okay, why this is important, let me clear it. Okay, so lead code having a more than 3000 coding questions. Now if you start preparing right now, okay, now after 1 year, if you prepare per day 3 questions consistently, might be in a year you will be completing 1000 questions. So it's still another 2000 questions is pending. Okay, and might be you will be solving the problem randomly. Okay, so this is not a good approach. So after solving, let's say 100, 200, 300, 400, you will be overheaded, and that overhead creates a lots of problem, right? So in order to get rid out of this overhead, so we have designed coding pattern. So we'll be learn through the coding pattern. Okay, hashing technique. So in the hashing technique, so we'll be solve, let's say 10 problem. Okay, then two pointer problem, slow and fast pointer problem, let's say heap problem. Okay, let's say tree problem, graph problem, backtracking problem. We'll learn this way. Okay, how this pattern works. Okay, and what are the related problems to this pattern. So when we will get to know this one, then in future, when we will be appear for the interview, it would be more organized and it would be easy to remember and easy to solve. So almost 250 interview, 250 plus. I mean, I have designed so less than 300 questions will be solved, and that should be your main part. So you don't need to solve more than 300. 300 is enough to get a job in good product based company, even Google, Microsoft. Okay. Second part, design pattern. So might be you know it. Okay. So when we write the coding, we have to follow certain design pattern. Will be know about the design pattern, let's say singleton, builder, observer. So lots of pattern is there. So we'll be doing a hands-on with practical example. Okay. And this is again, this is a programming language agnostics. Might be somebody can ask the questions. Sir, can you tell me I am a Python developer, which language you will be do the coding? Will provide you the solutions, will explain you the algorithm, everything, and will be providing you the solutions using all the language, let's say JavaScript, Python, Java. So you'll be having all the solutions with all the programming language. So don't worry about this. Then microservice architecture. Since coding, designing is a part, so it is important you have to know the microservices, because you know like a day by day the microservice architectures are getting more complex and lots of new architectures is getting formed, and you will be working on that microservices pattern, so that I mean in an interview when they will be asked like whether you have this knowledge or not, so that part also will be covering. Okay. Then most another most important topic, that is a system designing. So that is a LLD and HLD. Just give me 1 minute, let me off my video. Okay. So LLD and HLD. So in the LLD and HLD, we'll be covering the OOPS concept from basic. We'll understand real world design. Let's say how we can design Uber system. We'll be covering low level, high level both. Okay. Then WhatsApp designing, then Netflix designing, then Google Maps. So lots of things. So almost 20 plus system designing will be learning, and also you will get tutorial for all this topic. Okay. And one more important thing might be you are thinking, sir, what you will be going to cover. Okay. So let's say we'll be starting with the functional requirement, then non-functional requirement. Then we'll understand the scale of the applications. Okay, how much traffic is needed, how many people will be using, active user. Okay, then frequently active user. Okay, then we'll be starting with the class diagram, activity diagram, sequence diagram. Then we'll be having a database diagram. Okay, what would be the possible tables, attributes, and then we'll be starting to writing the API specifications. Okay, what are the important APIs is there? Then we'll go through the flowchart of the applications, and then we'll be having a LLD and HLD, and we'll be having a clear explanations how that system is working. Okay. Now, database and SQL. So this is some part we kept is a self learning. Okay. So that is a SQL. So if somebody having any problem, so we'll be discussing in our extra class. Okay. We'll notify all the candidates, and that time we'll discuss. So SQL means like we'll be giving you all the guides, like what are the important questions you have to practice for the SQL. So it is also important when you will be appearing for the interview. So let's say you one round is coding, one round is system designing, and suddenly they asked one SQL query. And let's say if you are not able to solve this problem, and because of this problem, okay, your entire interview went bad, wrong, and you are rejected. So I don't want you should be rejected. Okay. So you should be able to give the interview confidently, and you should get the job. Okay. But having said that, apart from the SQL part, others concept like a theorem, indexing, sharding, those are the real-time concept. So I'll be covering in the live sessions. Okay. And why this is important? Since you are be appearing for the coding, then system designing, so those are some topics sometimes they ask. Okay. And resume and profiling building tips, that is more important part, because if you are going to give the interview, first of all your resume has to be shortlist. If your resume will not shortlist, just let me know how you will give the interview. So that's what it is important to create your proper resume. Okay. And profile building, right? So that is important. So let's say you got a post, like there is the opening. So Adobe, Adobe, and you need a referral. So that is means you need that social connections to ask that person who is working in Adobe, and you can ask for the referral. So how to approach them, right? To certain people. Then how to increase your connection so that you can able to get more numbers of call. So we'll be covering this one. But interestingly, this module 6 number will be covering in the first sessions. I mean, after 2 to 3 sessions, we'll be covering this one, because I want when you will be join in that sessions from the starting phase, you will be able to get the call and you should appear for the interview. Doesn't matter what's going on, whether the interviews is going bad or good, you are rejecting, doesn't matter. Okay, you should get the call from the beginning level. So that's what I'll be planning to having these sessions in the earliest stage, so that you can create a proper resume, you can upload in the multiple portal, and you can start building your profile. Okay. So this is a very practical class. I'll be showing you the live example, what is your resume score and what is my resume score, why I am getting a more numbers of call, why your friend is getting a more number of calls, why you are not getting a call. So we'll be having a live example with the demo. Okay. And last but not in the least, so you know about the AI, and because of AI, how that market is impacting. So one common example, like a people used to say TCS job is like a government job, but TCS also laid off more than 10,000 employees, right? So it's a shocking news, I know, because this is the time, if you are not update yourself, okay, if you are stuck in the organizations, and if you are dependent on that organizations, then organizations will replace you. Okay. So that's what in nowadays you have to increase your productivity. So in order to increase your productivity, ChatGPT AI tools will be covering how to write a prompt and how to use ChatGPT or others important AI tools, so that in your day-to-day life coding activity, your productivity will be increased, and you will be more confidence, and you will be deliver that particular task with a less time. Yeah, so that's the overall course structure. Okay. Then we'll be having a important part, that mentorship and the job support. So after completing this course, if you are thinking like a they will not support. No, it's not. Unless until you will be landing in a good job. As I mentioned, minimum 100% high. So my support would be with you, and my entire team support would be with you. Okay. And finally, I'll be taking a mock interviews. Okay. Each and every candidate, I'll be taking a minimum 1 hour's interview. Okay. Coding, system designing, I'll provide a live feedback, and based on the feedback, you have to work. Okay. So that is most important. I'll connect one-to-one mock interview, all the person. Okay. Yeah. And whatever the course has been designed so far, so there is the important part, as I mentioned, all the sessions will be live, but we'll be having a recorded sessions. So let's say due to some reason you are not able to join the sessions, so you'll be getting a recorded sessions, and you can able to see the record part, and next time when you will be appear for the live sessions, so that time you can clear your doubt. And all the sessions you'll be getting a supported tutorial, So you don't need to check in ChatGPT or others tutorial. So you'll be getting from us everything. I mean, we'll be having a hackeralgo.io website. We are working on this one. So initial few days we'll be providing through the Google Drive, but in the later point of time, you'll be able to log in our portal, and from this portal you can able to see the live recording sessions along with the supported tutorial, whether it's a text based or video based or image based. Okay. Yeah, so today's demos, what we'll learn. So as I mentioned, today's demos will be solved one to two real world problem. Okay. And then we'll be having a system designing, so that you will be having an idea what type of course you will be getting from us. Okay. And give me 2 minutes. I mean, let me just having some waters. I'll be come back. Okay. So thank you for waiting for me. So we'll be going to have this hands-on. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so my problem is very simple. Okay. So let me just write over here. Just let me hide this panel. Okay. So everybody should be concentrate on this problem. Okay. So I have an array of integer. Okay. Array of integer. So let's say 400. Let's say 1. Let's say 200. Let's say 2, 3, 4. Okay. You are having an array of integer. You have to find out. Okay. You have to find out the max length. Okay. Maximum length. Okay. Maximum length of the consecutive integer. Okay. So what is consecutive integer? Okay. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a consecutive integer. So increasing by 1. Okay. Okay. Consecutive integer. So now in this array, okay, let me show you what are the consecutive integer. So might be you are thinking that answer would be 3. No. Here it is showing 2, 3, 4. No. Answer is wrong. Answer is 1, 2, okay, 3 and 4. So that is means 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be that number can placed anywhere of the array. Doesn't matter. Okay. So here the array positions is what? 1. And here array positions is 3, 4, 5, right? So doesn't matter anywhere in the array. Okay. So you have to return maximum length. So in this case, what should be the output? Output should be 4. Yes. So everyone, one by one, just let me know whether you have understood the problem or not. Let me know. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, I have understood the problem.
Okay. Okay. So if anyone having any doubt regarding the question, just let me know. Okay. See, why this is important. Whenever you are appearing for the interview, first of all, you should understand all the edge cases along with the problem. If you are not able to understand the problem, then you will not able to write the proper solutions. See, some people might be thinking consecutive array 2, 3, 4, and they write the coding like this. Okay. I'll tell you later why this. Okay. So let's say another example I am giving. Okay. So might be your array content. Okay. 1. Okay. 0, 5, 6, 8, 12 and 3. So people might be thinking, okay, 7, let's say. People might be thinking, okay, 5, 6, they are, placed, one after one, okay? So that's what output should be 2. No, you have to consider this 7. You have to consider this 8 as well. So output should be 4. So that is means if you are thinking wrong assumptions and based on that, if you write the program, so your interview gone. Your interview gone. So that's what it is always important. You should ask the questions to the interviewer. It is not a bad manner. It is a good manner. Good interactions with the interview always create a positive impressions on the interviewer. Okay. Okay. So we have understood the problem. And let's say if they are asking like, you can ask some other questions. Okay. Is there any time complexity, any space complexity constant is there? So if they are saying no, you can write anything. So first thing, always keep in mind, okay, this problem can be solved with brute force approach. Okay. So any problem, most of the problem can be solved by the brute force. Okay. So brute force approach. So means like I'll be having a 2 loop. Okay. Let's say loop 1. I am iterating the first part 0 to n, means here 402 I am iterating up to 4. Okay. And second inside loop. So for each part, okay, so for each part I'll be iterating again. Okay, like this. Okay. So this is called brute force, typically brute force approach. Okay. So we'll not going to solve this one using the brute force approach, because if we solve in a brute force approach, this would be not a optimal solutions. And if you are not able to write in a optimal solutions, then your interview will be bad. Okay. So what we need to know the optimal solution, right? Now coming to that part, I'm giving you one example. Company called LinkedIn, definitely you know it. So last year I given one interview. Okay. In the third round, they asked lots of questions. There is some questions. So round was 1 year 30 minutes. Total durations time. But my interview completed 1 hour 40 minutes. Okay. So I have done all the solutions with a proper optimizations. But I failed to give all the answer within this time limit. I have taken extra time. And that's what later point of time I came to know from the HR I was rejected because I am a very good developer or very good on coding, but they want more faster solutions than me. Okay. So this is a live example. So this is not like you will take it negative way. I take it in a positive way. Okay, might be something lagging is happening. I have to practice more. So that should be your attitude. Okay. And now we'll be going to the solution. So this is the tips when you will be having this interview. So you understood the solutions, you understood the sketches, you ask couple of questions, then you take a permission to the interviewer, sir or ma'am or whatever, you can ask by name as well. Shall I take 2 minutes time? See, don't take or don't ask for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes or 3 minutes is enough. So you can ask like a, shall you allow me for 3 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes to think about the solutions? Then take the time and calmly just think about the solutions. Now you can think how to solve this problem. You can think how to solve this problem. You can think, let's say 2 minutes gone, 3 minutes gone. Okay, sir, I got a certain solutions. Shall I explain to you? Then you should explain to the interviewer. Okay. If interviewer is satisfied, So then you can start writing the coding. Okay. If interviewer saying like, no, I don't think so, there should be a problem. There should be a problem. Might be your solutions will not work properly. Can you think again? So that time you can take another 2-3 minutes and you can think for that time. I have to go for different approach. Why this approach is not optimal, or why she said like this is not a good solution. So that time you have to think. So after that, if you are able to solve it or if you are come up with the solutions, then you can explain. So let's say interviewer agreed and you said about the solutions. So what you need to do? What you need to do? See, when this problem came, what I can do? Okay, so this sequence. So that is means 1, 2, 3, 4, or might be a 4, 5, 6. Okay, or might be 200, 201, 202, like this kind of a sequence. So that is means something immediately you have, it has to be hit in your mind. Some sorting is needed because this is the unsorted array. Some sorting is needed. Immediately it has to be stuck in your mind. So sorting is needed. Okay. So what you can do? So in others programming language might be different method. Okay. So you have to sort the element. So arrays dot sort is a method in Java. You have to pass the array. So your element will be sorted. Okay. So your element now it's become 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 200, 400. So you can use any inbuilt functions or you can explain, okay, I can write a quick sort first of all to sort this element. So now this is your output right now. Right now this is your output. Okay. So then next step, what you have to do it. Next step, what you have to do it. Now your element is sorted. So now you can think this number. So if you take the example, okay, this number is I, okay, and this is I plus 1, correct? This is I and this is I plus 1. This is I plus 2, something like that index. Okay. Now what we can write? If this number, okay, this number minus this number, okay, this number minus this number, if the value is equal to 1, we can say this is consecutive, correct? So after sorting this, what I am saying, if my previous number, previous means it should be it should be up by 1. If my, sorry, previous, not previous, if my next number, if next number is up by 1, okay, okay, so then we can say current number, okay, current number and next number are consecutive. Similarly, we came this part, we came this part. When we'll be coming to that number 3, okay, number 3, so that time my pointer will shift. So this is now I plus 1 and this I is become this. So I can say this one minus this one, okay, if equals to 1, then it is consecutive number. Now my pointer came here, 4, that is third index. So now this is now pointing the I plus 1 and this is pointing I. So again, now this is a consecutive. Now when I plus 1 pointed 200, so 200 Then minus 4, 4 become I. 200 minus 4. So 196. So this is not equals to 1. So then I can return what is the length? Length is 4. Did you understand the solutions? Everyone?
There one question. If there are same numbers, suppose there are
Yeah. I mean, I know this program is not correct. I'll come to that part.
yeah
Wait for
okay
that one.
yeah
But everyone understood the solution?
yeah
Okay. Now, what you are saying, that is absolutely right. Sorry, I mean, I have done it intentionally because I wanted to show you the edge cases. Initially, I mentioned like you have to ask the questions to the interviewer, right? So that's what it is important to know the edge cases. So might be you are writing the problem, but ultimately it is bad. Okay, let me just write one coding. Okay, and I'll be showing you live example. Again, who are in Python developer, who are in React.js developer, don't worry about this. Okay, so we'll be having a all coding questions, including that one. So you just understand the logic. Okay, so this is a main method. Just let me increase this one. Okay, public. This method will return my max length. Okay, and what it will take? It will take array of integer. Okay, now I'm taking. So I'm writing some edge cases. Okay, if array dot length equals to 0. Okay, return 0. If array dot length equals to 1. Sorry, length equals to 1. Return 1. So we'll be hands-on like this. Okay, then for loop, we have taken for loop. I know in Python it is in range. Okay, so similar. These are I is equals to 0. I less than array dot length I plus plus. Okay, so we have to take one counter because ultimately we have to store the result. Result is equals to 0. Okay, now if what I mentioned, if array of I plus 1, okay, minus I equals to 1, increase the counter, means my length is become now 1. Okay, other cases just break it. So in case of not, just break it. Okay, and from here return the result. Okay, now I'll be having a integer. Okay, error. So what example I have given? 400 0 1 200 3 4. Okay, and now I'll be doing a system.out.println. That is okay. I'm making it static. Okay, this is just a Java syntax. Don't bother about this one. Max length. So let me run it.
Debu, like in line number 17, it's array of I, right?
Yeah, array of I. Yeah, array of I.
So here it is mentioned as like
Sorry.
array of I.
No, I didn't short it. Sorry. I just went to different. First step, what we said, we have to sort it. So we have to import that one. Okay. Okay. So we have to sort it. Oh, sorry, I mistake. I have done it here. Yeah, you are saying that one. Okay. So yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm okay. I I have given wrong input. So basically, it's a maximum. This is the case. Okay. Yeah. So now it become 4. Okay. And why 4 is coming? So that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right. So here the case is, so we are doing last part. Okay, so always you have to take the result as a 5. Okay, sorry, 1, because initially 1 means, because if that is a 1 element, so already we are counting it 1, so that's what, that is the starting phase. Okay, and why I did this mistake, I don't know. That is input. Okay, and that is the short area. Okay, but this output is not the correct. Okay, the I mean the solutions. Let's say if you have an example 0, 1, 2, 1, okay, and then 3, 4, okay, and you make this array out of 1, okay, and then you just given this one. Okay, so now in this case you will be seeing the output is incorrect. So now in general, what is 0, 1, 2 also there, 3 also there, 4 also there. So output should be 5. Okay, that's what I was saying over here. Like this is not a correct solutions. So what we can do? What we can do? If there is a duplicate number, so that's what we need to ask to the interviewer, right? So now let me write it over here and then I'm explaining to you. Okay. So now I have given the method called the array called 0, 1. I mean, after sorting, you are getting this. Okay. So just think it. Here, count 1, count 2, count 3. Sorry, count 2. Then count 3, count 4, then count 5. Here, what is happening? These and this number are same. So that's what will not count. So what we need to write a conditions? We need to write a conditions along with this AND operation, and my next element, okay, minus my current element should not be not equals to 0 and not equals to 0. If 0 means duplicate number, then we should ignore that count. Okay, so now if I write a piece of this, okay, so let's say if this one, okay, not equals to 0, okay, so then I'm saying you can skip this. Okay, you can skip this. Okay, so then the output is 0, 1, 2, 3. As I mentioned, the starting result should be 1. Okay. Okay, so we can see the 5. So again, this is a Java stuff. So in Python, there should be different way. So first of all, what we did, array sort. Okay. So after sorting this, our element came to like a 0, 1. Okay. Like 1, 1, then 2, 3, 4. And then what I am doing? So I am doing array I plus 1 minus array I. So that's what it would be always pointing to the next element. So that's what when coming to the array length, because index start with 0, it should be the less than of the actual length. So if the length, array length is 5, then index will be starting from 0 to 4. So that's what I am saying, like a I. When I is less than length minus 1, so you don't go to this, because if it will go to this one, so then it will throw the array index out of bound. So then first step is we understood, okay, so this is 0, next element minus first element equals to 1. So that's what will be counting result 1. But also we have to think, if my next element minus my previous element, if is equals to 0, we should not count it, because ultimately it's a 1, right? So that's what it is important in the interview. You should ask these questions, okay? And now what should be the time complexity? Okay, so now here internally we use arrays dot sort, right? So that's what order of log n. I'll be explain in all my sessions. Order of log n should be the actual time complexity, because n log n, because you are using that internal sorting, and internally it is using the quick sort, okay? But here you have written one for loop starting from 0, okay, and ending with n, I mean the length of the array. So that's what is time complexity, order of n, okay? So now if you say like, okay, my time complexity is order of n log n plus order of n, so it is not something like that. It will not like happen like that way. Always, if that is a sequential operations, always we take the maximum. So what is max of, okay, now I am coming to that board, okay, I'm coming to the board. So always the time complexity is coming like that way, okay? So max of all your sequential. So I said order of n log n, right? And comma order of n. So max is this. So this should be your time complexity, order of n log n. But in case if that is a nested, so that time we have to do the multiply. So that time we can say order of n square. So let's say you have a two for loop that is a nested. Inside for loop there is another for loop. So that is a nested. So that is called as a order of n square time complexity. Okay. So this is how we calculate the time complexity, and in that program you didn't take any of the extra space. So extra space means, have you taken any array? No. You are doing operations on the same array, right? And also only you have taken one variable. So that is means you didn't take any other spaces. So let's say if you are taking a integer another array, okay, array 2, then you are copying that array, something like that. So that time extra array you are taking with size of n. So that time you can say, okay, my space complexity is order of n. Okay, so in this case a space complexity is order of 1. That is a constant complexity, okay, in bigger notations. And time complexity, if they are saying you can consider the sorting, so you can say n log n. If they are saying you don't need to bother about the sorting, then as per what logic you have written in the for loop, your complexity is order of n. And that's what, whenever you are writing that program, always you have to think twicely, and always you have to execute the problem. So now what happened? So now I have written the code. So might be my logic is fine. Okay, explain this is fine. But I was getting an array out of index. I was getting a 1. I mean, result is less than 1. Why this is happening? Because of logic. So that's what it is important after learning from any lead code or any of the area. So always you should hands-on practice the coding. That is important. If you will not practice the coding, lots of mismatch will be happening, right? So when you will be able to solve the problem online or through any of the editor, you will be able to understand, okay, what you are missing and what the area it is. Okay, gray area it is. Okay, so that's how you have to think wisely. Hopefully you understood about the problem. If you are not, just let me know. Then I'll be going to the next step, that is a WhatsApp designing. I'll be going a WhatsApp designing. So one thing, just let me show you. Okay. So this is our tutorial. Okay. So for each and everything, I mean, you'll be having a functional requirement. You'll be having a core microservice name estimations. Okay. You'll be having a high level design, then table designing. You'll be having a DB schema designing. You'll be having a API designing. Okay. We'll be having a that communications designing. Okay. And finally we'll be having a our main part. Okay, designing the main part. Okay, WhatsApp designing. So this is how we have created the tutorial, and you'll be able to know the whole system. Okay, so now this part. Okay, let me explain. Okay, see, first of all, if you are appearing for the interview, so if interviewer asks like a design WhatsApp, okay, so we'll be covering only the HLD LLD part over here. So we'll not cover database schema or API because we'll be having a limited sessions. Also might be somebody having a Q&A. So that's what I mean. I kept only HLD and LLD. Okay. So FR. So you have to understand the FR, functional requirement. If you are not able to understand the functional requirement, you will be not able to come up with the proper design. NFR is not much important. Again, I am saying NFR is not much important. FR is important. See, just think it. If you are doing a WhatsApp, so what is important? That is one-to-one chatting system. One-to-one chat. I can message XYZ person. Then I can send not only the text-based message, I can send image. I can share any files. I can share the images. I can share the videos, right? So that is a basic functionality. Okay. And now group chat, important. Also important, that tick mark. So you know that is a tick mark is if delivered, then double tick mark. It is a gray color. And if somebody seen that one, so that one a blue double tick. Okay. And last scene also we can able to see if somebody just allowed last scene, so we can able to see. So this is a functional requirement. Okay. And NFR, non-functional requirement. Always it's a security, high availability, low latency, no lag. So this is comes under the non-functional requirement. So now you can ask me, Devu, how to calculate the scale part, because most of the interview might be you seen like there is a scale like you have to come up this part, right? So now let's say you'll be having a 3 billion active user daily. Okay. And per person sending 3 image. Okay. And per image size is 1 MB. So what should be the total storage you need? 3 billion. Okay. Multiply by 3i multiply by 1 MB divided by 1000. So that should be your GB, right? So you need total this much of gigabyte storage per day. Similarly for message, if per user is sending, let's say 200 messages per 100 messages to group or any user. So you need total 200 messages, 200 billion messages. If per message size is 1 kilobyte, okay, so you need 200 billion byte storage. So this is how we calculate the capacity planning, okay, storage, either a storage network or might be bandwidth, okay. Now coming up this one. Okay. Now here is a few important things you have to understand. Okay. So first of all, what is WebSocket? What is WebSocket? So whenever communications happen between server and client, there is a lots of way. Okay. So one is TCP. Okay. We know transport control protocol layer. Okay. Another is UDP, user datagram protocol. Okay. So normally we know HTTP protocol. Okay. So in HTTP, there is a two-way, one-way communications. Okay. Always server sends something to the client. Okay. But client cannot asynchronously communicate with the server. But we have a something called WebSocket. Okay. Through the socket connections, it is this concept is applicable for any programming language. Through the WebSocket, I mean socket connections, that client, okay, C and server both are connected and they can interchange the informations among themselves. That's what Facebook, WhatsApp Messenger, then your LinkedIn message, or might be your any kind of chat, chatting system. Okay, always use that WebSocket connections. Okay. Now there is a called WebSocket handler. That is a fast service. So what is WebSocket handler? So WebSocket handler is a lightweight service running on the server. Very lightweight service. Okay. What it will do, I'll tell you later point of time. Okay. And then there is a tool is called WebSocket Manager. So WebSocket Manager is a little bit heavyweight application service. Okay. So what it will do, I'll tell later. Third is message service and fourth is asset service. Okay. Now, what WebSocket handler is doing? So whenever you are online, even same for the Uber, right? If you are searching some driver, okay, so after getting the getting connected with the driver, I mean driver accepted your ride, so you are able to see the driver locations, live location, how this communication is happening. These communications, this live location sharing is happening real time through the WebSocket. Okay. Now WebSocket handler, I mentioned it's a lightweight service. So what it is doing? So let's say there is a 1,000 user. Okay. Take an example, 1,000 user. So divide by 10. So total 100 user. Okay. So let's say 100 user connected with WebSocket W1. Another 101 to 200 user connected with WebSocket W2. Okay. And another, let's say 201 to 300, okay, connected with W3, WebSocket handler. So WebSocket handler is, it is open connections with the user, end user, might be end user connected with the phone or might be connected with the laptop. It's a open connections with the end user. Okay. Open connections with the end user and it just connected with the number of user, and it can send the traffic to the user. So WebSocket, what it will do? So WebSocket handler, it will do, take the user messages, text, image, whatever it is forward to the next page. Also, let's say if it got some text message, then it will send to the respective user. So this is WebSocket handler do. WebSocket manager, what it will do? It will connect it with the load balancer. This is a load balancer, okay? This is a load balancer. This is our load balancer, LB, okay? This load balancer, what it will do? This load balancer, to this load balancer, WebSocket manager is connected. So the purpose of the WebSocket manager is, it will know which user is connected, which WebSocket handler. And it is stored that information in caching system called Redis. So WebSocket manager, it knows which user is connected with which WebSocket handler. So as I mentioned, let's say there is a 10 WebSocket handler service. So let's say out of 10, all the user distributed among all the WebSocket handler. So Web manager knows first 100 user is connected which WebSocket handler, and it's store the value in the Redis. What message service it will do? Message service, okay? What message service it will do? Simply it will get the traffic from the load balancer and it will store in the Cassandra message. And now you can ask like why message service is needed? Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you just online, you send a message to your friend X. Now your friend immediately went offline. And now this message not going to deliver to your friend's phone. Where it is stored? It is stored in Cassandra. Okay, it is stored in Cassandra. When your friends will comes to online, then it will be get delivered to your phone's friend. But how it will happen, I'll explain to you later. I'll come one by one. Now this is the functionality of the message service. And also this message service send these messages to the Kafka topic. Why Kafka topic? I'll explain in later. And what is the functionality of the asset service? So basically asset service means asset. Means if you are sending any email, sending any documents, right? So basically it will comes to the load balancer, then asset service. Asset service will say store either S3 bucket or CDN, that is content delivery network. Okay, CDN. Okay, it can be a clustered in multiple CDN. So just think it will store in the respective bucket or CDN. Okay. Now this much of things is clear. So first of all, we'll see how user 1 can send the message to user N. Okay. How user 1 can send the message to user N or U2. Okay. So now user 1 sending the message to user 2. Okay. And the message name is M1. Okay. So user connected with the WebSocket handler 1. You can see this one. Just give me 1 second. I mean, let me just open in another part. This is already lots of things are there. Okay. Just let me open the process. Okay. Now, okay. This is our part. Okay. So what I said, user 1 sending the message, user 2 message is M1. Okay. So how it will be happen? So first of all, it is sending to whom? First of all, it is sending to whom? WebSocket handler. Because I said it's a bi-directional connections open, one-to-one. So he is sending, okay, I want to send the message M1 and user is U2. He got the message. Now, WebSocket handler, what is doing through the load balancer? It is communicating with the WebSocket manager. Hey, this guy want to send the message to U2. Do you know where U2 is connected? First of all, it's got this message. It is dumping to the, it's just searching. Okay, searching in the Redis. And he got, okay, user U2 connected with WebSocket handler U2. Sorry, this handler 2. So then he sent, hey, you know, it is connected with the handler 2. So then again through the this and through this handler is directing, directly sending the traffic to U2. Okay. What is happening once again? It is searching. Okay. So U2 connected with handler 2. Okay. So now after getting this information, it is sending to the WebSocket handler. Then handler, what it is doing? It is sending handler 2. Hey boss, I know U2 is connected with your WebSocket handler. Can you send this message? Now handler 2 got this message. Now handler 2 server will send the message to U2. Right? It is sending the message to U2 because I said it's a both way communications. Okay. So everyone, did you understand? Just let me know. Everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I'm going further. So now we understood the flow, U1 and U2 able to send the message. Okay. Now another part is connected. Okay, in between that. So when it is sending the load balancer as well, load balancer will call the message service and message service will dump into the Cassandra. Now why it is important? As I mentioned. Okay, so Debu came online user 1 and I am sending my friend called Aman. Aman is offline. Okay. So now how this traffic is coming? This one, WebSocket handler coming through the load balancer to the WebSocket manager. Okay. Then it is try to look in the cache where Aman is connected. Aman right now is not connected. So then it's informed. Then it's came back to load balancer. Then it comes to that message service and message service come to the Cassandra. Now the question is when Aman is get online, you can say like Debu, how Aman can get all those messages? How Aman can get all those messages? It's a kind of a pooling system. Okay. It's a kind of a pooling system. Now Aman gets online. Okay. Let's say Aman now connected with handler N, XYZ, not 2. So immediately he asks to server, hey boss, is there any messages for me? Just handlers just going to load balancer. And then it is directly talking to the message service. Hey boss, is there any message for you too? Then user ID 2. Oh yes, it's searching in the Cassandra. Yes, there is a message. Then message start coming to that user phone. It is automatically configured in the phone. Automatically it's written. When it's connected with the Wi-Fi or network, automatically there is a request going on from you to that WebSocket handler. Okay. And from there it is going to the message service, and then if there is a message, it will dump it. Okay. Now this is how any undelivered message can be delivered when user get online. Now another point is there. Okay. So another point just I want to cover you. So I want to give you little bit heads up. Okay. What's happening? Sometimes what happen if you are sending the message, right? What happening? See, whatever I am telling you right now, you will not get any answer in anywhere else. Okay. It's a real time. We have to understand the functionality. Just give me a minute. I mean, sorry, there is some background noise due to that Ganesh Puja. Some crackers. Okay. So now you are sending the message. Might be you will be seeing some watch symbol is there and message not delivered. Some watch symbol means like a there. Let's say when you send, situation is now you are sending U1 to U2. U2 went offline. Now let's say you are typing the message and you trying to deliver and you are now offline. Then what will happen? You have to write it again. No. So that time your message will be stored on local phone device, whether it's Android or iOS. So let's say SQLite or any kind of a database. When you get online, there is a pull mechanism. It will start pulling your local phone database and it will start sending to the WebSocket handler. Might be you came up these situations. When you are sending message, you went offline, your network gone. Right? So that's what, this is how another pull mechanism works. When you get online, your local messages will be delivered to the user. Okay. So this is how we know, like this, we can able to understand how to send message peer to peer, that is a one-to-one. Now another point might be you can think it. Okay. It's coming to that part. Blue tick. Blue tick is nothing but a, okay. So when you got the message, okay. So let's say U1 again sending U2. So U2 got the message, okay. So then U2 sending the acknowledgement to the WebSocket handler. Hey boss, I got the message. Can you pass this acknowledgement to the U1? I received your packet or message. So then WebSocket handler is again connecting to the WebSocket manager. Okay, why U1 is connected? I mean, whether their position has been changed or not. If not changed, then it's directly sent WebSocket handler to, then WebSocket handler immediately send to the U1. And then immediately that status got changed, blue tick mark. And what about last scene? What about last scene? Last scene is nothing but the situations. Okay. So every time when user is getting online, okay, after every seconds, okay. So let's say the time duration is 3 seconds. Okay. Every 3 seconds, it is updating through the WebSocket handler to WebSocket manager. Okay, it is updating. Okay, this is my heartbeat. Something called heartbeat. And it is storing in the cache. So let's say user last heartbeat. So right now it's a 8:41. And let's say just 8:40, 45, 6. Last user went online. And that time last heartbeat sent to the WebSocket manager, right? After that, no heartbeat sent. So then when user 1 is trying to see in the chat, so request is coming to the WebSocket handler, then coming to the WebSocket manager, it is checking in the Redis. Okay, so last is this time. So that is means user is not online, and we can show the timestamp. That's how we can figure out the last scene. And last part is group messenger. Okay, again, once again, I am not covering here like a create a profile. Means whenever, I mean, you can ask the same questions, Debu. Let's say I am going to use the WhatsApp user profile. Yes, there should be user profile module that is informations will be stored in the MySQL. Okay, this is my phone number, this is my name, this is my picture. Okay, so yeah, so that is a small module of this, but I'm only talking about the main part. If you able to explain that main part in the interview, whatever it is the company, whether Google, whether XYZ, you will able to crack. So last part I am going to cover, that is group message. How group message works. Okay, so let me take in another whiteboard. So basically, this group message service, okay? I know this is Sunday, everyone getting frustrated, but don't worry, when we'll be having a live sessions, we'll be having a fun so that it will not be boring. I can assure you it can be interesting. Okay. This group service, okay, what it will do, it will having all the information. Let's say user 1 connected with group G1, group G2, or might be vice versa. G1 group having a 10 user. Let's say user 1, user 2, okay, like this, it will connect like this. Okay. So when U1 is sending a message to group G1, okay, with the message M1, okay, it is sending the message M1. So it is coming to the WebSocket handler. Fine. Okay, WebSocket handler, you got this message. Now it is sending to the WebSocket manager. Now WebSocket manager collect all the informations. Okay. Okay, this much of user and is checked in the Redis database, and there it is sending in the group message handler. Okay. And after sending the group message handler, sorry, this message service, it is sending the message, it is coming to the Kafka. Earlier I mentioned it will go through the Kafka. See, I mean, I introduced here Kafka again. You can obsolete the Kafka, you can directly communicate to the WebSocket manager. Okay. But for the concurrent user and the better scalable applications, I introduce the Kafka. So when it is sending to the Kafka, then Kafka sending to the group as a message handler. Then it is searching in the group service, and here, okay, can you tell me this message, a message, M1 message has to be sent to the multiple user. Okay. And what other handler is connected? So let's say U1, U2, U3. So let's say there is a 3 user connected in the group 1. So now it is got the informations, then it is sending the message. Okay. Handler 1, you send this message to U1. Okay. Handler 2, you send this message to, sorry, you send this message to U2. Then again, okay, handler N, you send this message to U3. Okay, handler N, okay, you send this message to N user. So like this is how. So the flow is similar. U1 sending the message, it is coming WebSocket, then load balancer to the message service, then it is dumping to the Kafka. Then Kafka got a asynchronous event, immediately it is updating the group message handler. Then group message handler is connecting with the group service and the WebSocket manager and getting all the information. Okay, can you tell me this user is connected which handler? Okay, this user is connected which handler. Now it's fine. U1 is connected with handler 1, U2 connected handler 2. Then it is directly sending. Okay, you can send this message to this. So that's what each and every user of this group is directly getting the message through this group service handler, WebSocket manager, and the group service through the help of Kafka. And here I have written Hadoop cluster because if you need to do the analytics, so that time you can use the Hadoop. So might be this is not a wandering. So if you open the WhatsApp, if you say something today, right, tomorrow you will see the advertisement because always it is listening. So all those voice will comes to the Kafka. It is then filtering through the Hadoop cluster, and then based on that it is creating the profile, and then you are seeing the ads. Okay. And last but not in the list, I'll be saying the access service what it is doing. So when user end is sending this trying to upload the picture, so it is coming to the WebSocket handler. Okay, so this is a this is a mass image, so directly it is sending to the asset, so then it is uploading is the in the S3 bucket and simply returning the ID, then this ID again going to the respective user. Okay, now here is a one point. So let's say today some event is going on. So let's say India today won the World Cup. So might be same picture is routing or sending to the multiple user. So then do you need all the data should be cached or stored in the bucket? No. Why you should? So what we can do? So when it is sending to the WebSocket handler, it is coming to the access service. So access service will create hashing of the image. Then it will store. When next time that same traffic will come, it will it will create, it will generate again hash, and it will check whether same hashing is exist or not. If not, then it will store and return the ID. If not, then it will fetch the ID and it will send. Okay, so this is how happened in order to solve the duplicate images and videos. So let's say example 1. Okay, I'm giving you again live example. You send some video to YouTube. It is stored in the asset service. Okay, now again you are sharing the same image or video to U3 or user 3 or n xy or multiple user or group. So do you think again same message or same video is uploading to the asset? No. So that time that through the ID and hashing is sharing, so that storage, I mean, I can say like you are optimizing your storage. Okay, you can write another service top of this access service. Okay, to optimize these things. I'm telling you, like whatever the informations you are getting, okay, you can go to anywhere. So you will not get fully detailed cleared. But anyway, so having said that, so yeah, so is it understandable to everyone or not? Just let me know. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is clear.
Okay. Fine. Now, the point is, I thought I'll be covering the linked list, but already it's a late time, so I don't want everybody should be keep online for the late night. But having said that one, you have to understand the fact. Okay, so whether the system designing, whether the coding, it's not a one-day achievement. It's a consistent effort. Okay, and that's what the proper way and guidelines. If you go through the steps, then you'll be fully understandable and your concept will be clear, and you will be able to crack the interview. But if you go random way, it would be difficult for you to I'll not say like you will not get a job. Definitely you will get a job, but you will not be landed up with your dream organizations. Okay, that's the important thing. And now coming to that part. Okay, so last part is the course fees. So might be you will be having a doubt. So course fee for the professional, it's a 25,000. So in dollar it's a $275. But for the student, so it's a 18,000. And if you are a student, you have to give your ID, okay, or mail ID, so that we can validate. And so that is the main part. And another important thing is like this journey is not a uh, you know like a durations journey. It's a consistent journey. Upcoming future when we'll be having a others or another kind of a batch, so definitely you'll be able to join. And already I mentioned it's a recorded, so it's a one-time investment. But I can assure you, your career and your life will be changing, because after having these sessions, so you'll not regret what you have done and what you will be getting it. So definitely it would be a more than 100% thoughtful related to your next step for the career. And yeah, so consistent support and everything should be there from us. Yeah, so that is the part. So if you have any kind of a QA or anything, so just let me know. And last point, I want to say, interviews, it's not about the luck. So let's say if you are attending the interview in any company, so might be one round you clear, but not all the rounds, right? If you are appearing for the coding or product-based companies interview, so you have to clear all the rounds. So you have to be perfect among all the rounds, right? So I know no one is perfect. Okay, so like today when I was explaining and when I was showing the code, right? When I explained the algorithm, you understood the algorithm. When I was showing the code, so I was struggling, because right now I am not writing in code in the Java. I am writing the code in the Scala. Okay, Scala and the Groovy. So that's what I mean. It is creating problem a little bit for me. So that is a consistent effort, and and the consistent performance is needed. Okay, so from my side, I can say like if you have a belief and faith, okay, for to know something, don't need to join the course. If you want to really landed in a good companies, and if you want to get a more high in your job profile, then you then this course is for you. And definitely from that point there should be 100% support from my side. But if you are thinking, okay, so today I can spend some time, tomorrow okay, so forget it, okay, etc., then don't need to join. Because ultimately whatever you are paying to me or paying to my team, so it should be thoughtful, right? And you should get a job. So that should be our target, and your confidence should be in place. And I'll be the only instructor to these sessions. Okay. In future, we'll think about for the others instructor. Yeah. So if you have any kind of a Q&A, please let me know. Yeah. Hello, anyone having any Q&A?
Yes, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
So when is this course starting? And
Uh,
since you said it is 5 months, right? So once 5 months is done, like, are you planning to do it again for the next 5 months?
As of now, so this is my primary target is I should complete that first batch. Okay. So next we'll plan accordingly. So might be it can start after 2 months, 3 months. I mean, or might be we can start immediately after 5 months. So it is not decided yet, but yeah. So for the time being, we are starting this course from next week. Okay. And it will be continue up to 5 months.
Okay.
Anyone having any doubt? So if not, okay, so if you want to join today, just register yourself and there is a form just I'm sharing with you. Okay, so just give me a minute. And from next week, so I pasted in the chat. Okay, so after doing the payment, so let me know who is interested. Okay, so yeah, so that is either you can pay through the UPI or you can pay through the phone banking. So both things are mentioned over here. Yeah, if you have any concern or any kind of doubt, please feel free to let me know.
Hello.
Hello?
Can you just provide some thoughts on resume building?
Yeah, definitely. Let me share my screen. So for the resume building, so always you have to think from the perspective of like first is your career or education's background, so that you have to do it. Okay, but you don't have to put the your marks, like that is not needed. If you are just saying like you have done the BTech or MSc or BSc in computer science or computer applications, whatever it is, so that is enough. Okay, and now most important part is the word keyword, right? So let's say if you are working in certain project for the organizations, so don't give any details, because the details will not increase your profile optimizations or CV optimizations or keyword optimizations. So give only 1 2 liner, but what roles you played. So let's say I'm giving an example. So let's say we have created applications, okay, and we have enhancement of certain things. So after this, that cost has been reduced by 70%. So that is means whatever you have done, so that is company's cost is reduced 70%, means like this is something you have done it better, or might be whatever you have done it, so that your application's performance is increased by 50%, right? So that kind of statement or that kind of a measurement and proper keyword you have to put in your CV. Okay. And another important part, the right technology. So let's say if you are sending the CV or your resume to the particular organizations, you have to understand what they are looking for. Okay. So based on the profile, if you update your CV, so your selections rate would be more high. But if you are giving some irrelevant informations, right, so that would not be a good, and your selections chance will be reduced, right? So that measurement, metrics, proper keyword, technology, those are the important part which play crucial role in order to increase your resume score. Yeah. Any other question?
Okay, some of them ask for cover letter. Is it necessary?
No, cover letter is not necessary.
Okay.
The resume building should be done through latex.
Guru? Sorry,
Using latex, should we do the resume building?
sorry, I mean, I'm not able to hear your voice properly. So something noise is coming. Can you repeat once again? Can you repeat once again? Hello?
Using latex, should we do the resume building? Using latex.
Yeah, you can use that one. So apart from that, there is a lots of website is there.
Oh,
Creator,
overleaf.
okay. Novoresume.com, then uh lots of, I mean, we have listed lots of resume building website. So definitely we'll share and provide you the informations in the course. I mean, you can create your free resume without paying any money even. Any other question? Any other question? If not, then we'll be ending the sessions. To everyone, I mean, I'll be posting the same informations in the group. You have a time till next sessions. I mean, will be starting from Saturday, so that is the 6th August. So feel free to let us know, okay, and contact with me or either our team member, okay, if there is any information is needed, okay. Yeah. So I hope everyone is okay. And if there is any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to us, okay, through the WhatsApp, because already you have connected with the WhatsApp group, and I'll be sharing you the recorded sessions over there. Okay. Yeah, so for the time being, thank you. Good